Hey everybody. So BIM news. I try to get to these every Monday, but obviously you can see here it's been a while since I've gotten to them. So I'm gonna try to get to these no matter what. Things will happen, but I'm gonna try. And this week's gonna be a short one, but I've got a couple links there, and then you can see all the other cool and interesting things I see throughout the week. Um, I'll put them not here, but there isn't other stuff. These are more like for things that aren't net. They're interesting, but I don't know if they're relevant for this channel. And then there's other interesting resources. That'll be where I put stuff that I just don't have time to get to actually talking about on the channel, so that you guys can see those. I only put that there to help you and me track that stuff, so it's there if you want it. So this week's, also I reordered like the dates on these, and let me actually update that here. So I'm gonna do year, and then month. That just made more sense to me. So couple different, or actually just one article. I've got this one down here, but I didn't read it entirely, and I want to make sure I do that before I comment on it and talk about it on this channel. So here's some other ones. I thought this one was interesting, and I'm going to scroll through it. I did not mark this one up like I do with some of the other ones, but Sebastian, I've never heard of Sebastian, never saw his channel, or his Twitter before, because I think he posted this on Twitter. I don't use Twitter very often, or looks like maybe it's on Instagram. Obviously, you can see I don't know what I'm talking about there, but I don't use those platforms. But I did play this video, and I thought his perspective was pretty interesting. I shared it with a friend of mine, and he got nervous because he talked about how folks need to start looking for jobs. And I don't see it that way, and I don't know if that's entirely what he meant by it, but overall I think this is a interesting article. I tend to try to stay away from the word AI just because it's it incorporates a lot of different things, but also primarily what we would use under the umbrella of AI, we would use ML. And machine learning is not intelligent. None of it is. And I think before we're ever worried about our jobs going away, things need to be intelligent, and they're just not there. I think there will be a lot of tedious things, and maybe certain aspects of the job will be sped up, but depending on where you're at, it may impact it more than others. But I think AI isn't anything to be scared of currently. At least it seemed like originally that it was moving really fast, but then the more I learn about it, the less that I'm afraid of it, because I just don't see it moving. I think problems are a lot more complicated than people understand. There's a lot more, especially in engineering and architecture. The problems are very unique. And very, I mean, if anything, look at manufacturing that employs tons of people. In certain factories, the task is very repetitive, and a lot of the other repetitive tasks have been automated, but yet they still employ quite a bit. And in AEC, it seems like every project is almost dealt differently. Your client may be different. The tools they're using are different. Their requirements are different. And I feel like we're a long ways off from automating something like that. There's some references here to the like tools like DALL-E, Midjourney, some of those really cool ones that generate images. I think Google, I don't know if they mentioned that one here because I can't remember what Google called theirs, but Google had released a 3D rendering engine which does like videos and stuff, and so it's not one image, it's a whole bunch of images that are related to one another. So I think that's really incredible. And I don't know if it would really impact AEC. I really like this stuff. But if it was so powerful, I would think I would see it, being used more often, but I'm not. I see a lot of folks sharing it because it's cool and they created some cool, unique design from some inputs. So I'm sure there's applications that I'm not thinking of, especially in architecture. I don't work in architecture anymore, so I'm not, and I'm not an architect by background, so I wouldn't do that. But my thought is why when you're in schematic design, or if you're trying to come up with concepts, you can start to play around with different ideas and put those things into this system. But I don't know. I feel like the more experienced you are, the less maybe a tool like that would be beneficial. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how those evolve. Here's the other video by Sebastian. I did not watch this one. AI to BIM. Again, I think that's just machine learning and stuff. Conclusion. And then down here, I think he talks to Clifton from TestFit. So there's some of that. I think this is an interesting article. If you're interested in AI, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Are you afraid of AI? What are your thoughts on it? Are you using machine learning currently in your applications? So anyways, there's that. So real brief, and sorry I can't get into that more. I typically try to mark these up and share that with you guys, but check out the article. I think it's useful reading that stuff anyways. I don't think this is a tsunami coming anytime soon, and if it is, it's machine learning and it's going to be applied to very specific problems. Tech 3D, so not so much an article, but I wanted to share this with you because I think it's just really cool, a really cool channel. So he only has 76,000 subs. I say only, but I'm thinking of like really big channels. Obviously, that's a lot of subs. That's much more than me. But I really like this channel. I think it should be a lot bigger than the 76 because he does, I think, a really good job. Now, if you follow my channel, you probably are using Revit, Dynamo. You probably work in architecture, engineering, maybe VDC, or you're a contractor. I think his channel is primarily focused on like manufacturing type tools like Inventor or like Fusion 360. But the reason why I like it is because you can see here some of the videos I have watched, like the free software. I was unaware of this, so I found that really cool. And the Autodesk University this year, he gave his feedback on that. So you can, this one here, oh dear, is where he talked about Autodesk University, and then they responded, I guess, to not specifically to his criticism, but they got a lot of feedback from folks. He talks about here the end of desktop applications with the whole Autodesk platform thing. So I like it for those videos quite a bit, and his tutorial videos, I think he talked about it just recently, not that one, but this one here, that he'll be doing tutorials. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, he'll be doing more tutorial type videos. And if you like, and by that stuff, I mean like manufacturing and things, it might be a cool channel for you to check out. Either way, I like his stuff that's talking about Autodesk and some news related things. I think that's really helpful. So I've definitely subscribed, and I'll probably set that to all for now. And we talked about that. I just have two links open. So I wanted to talk about an article from this list here today, and it was this computational thinking. Why should engineers care about it? I think anybody should care about it, and I love the idea of computational thinking as a topic to talk about with AC folks. I just haven't had a chance to fully read this entire article to give any good feedback on, or any input, I mean, or opinion on it. And I'd like to watch his video, but I still wanted to point it out because if you're interested in this stuff, that's what I'm trying to do here, is just, bring awareness to these really cool things. And so this article's here, and this is a really great video. Because of seeing this, I started to go down a rabbit hole and started to grab other computational related things, because I was working on something essentially this, like, what is computational thinking, and I was doing it for my BIM, or sorry, computational design notebook, which is just a whole bunch of different links, pretty much, and different pages and different topics and questions and things like that. I've been trying to bring it all together so that I have a really good reference. At some point I'll open this up to everybody, but I started to find a bunch of other videos that were talking about computational thinking, and thought and just started putting them here together. So I would say, if you're interested in that, obviously check out that article, because I think it's just briefly looking at it, it looks really good, and I like a lot of BIM Corner's articles, so I'd recommend checking that out, watching his videos, and then also Googling some of the other videos. I just looked up computational thinking. So I also, when I was out here, because I saw this on LinkedIn, I came out here to grab it, but I saw this article, and I thought this was a really catchy title. I don't know if it's clickbait, but I definitely have my opinions about the AEC industry, and I'm really interested to see, to read this article and see what they're talking about. I think that's a really interesting topic. So, and then, like I said, this last article, I did not get to this like I thought I would. And this week's kind of brief, and some weeks might be that way. I'm going to try to put more time into it, but time is really limited right now for me. So I'll try my best, but if anything, I'm going to continue adding resources that I find throughout the week to this page here. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Even if you don't want to hear me ramble on, feel free to check out the links and things so that you can read them yourself. This is an open notebook that you have access to. You should find the link below. Let me know if you have any troubles with that. I'm using Notion for the first time, like sharing links externally. But let me know if you have any problems. If you want to join Discord, the Discord link is actually in the notebook and also in the description below, so check that out. If you like the video, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.